you have to have signed before closing. This is not a legal thing. This is a white line thing. This is a CYA to make sure everybody knows what's going on, and this is a buyer's walkthrough and acceptance form. You have to take your buyers, if you're representing the buyer. If you're representing the seller, you don't have to do this. But if you're representing a buyer, you have to do this if you want to get your commissions from this sale. So before the property closes, it could be the day before, it could be the same day if they're closing in the afternoon. You want to walk through the property, yes, physically, get in your car, drive over there, and fill out this form. It's so easy to fill out. Buyers walk through an acceptance form. It's released by TAR. You can find it on their website or through Zip Forms or however you want to do it. Put in the name and the address of the property, and we're going to answer two questions. One, was this property inspected? 99% of the time, you should have your property inspected. If that's the case, you're going to check this box right here. The property was inspected by an inspector of the buyer's choice, not your choice. Your buyer gets to choose. You can make recommendations, that's fine, but you need to recommend at least 3 every time you make a recommendation. Not only for inspectors, but anytime you recommend anything. You're going to want to make sure you have 3 people that you recommend. Let them choose. They can Google whatever. We have reviewed the inspection report. So yes, 99.9% of the time that's going to happen. Sometimes the property was not inspected. This is usually only the case if you're representing an investor and they know the house needs work and they don't really care. But I'd be very careful about checking this box. Make sure that you have an inspector go look at the property. So we're going to check one of these 2 boxes. This property happened to be inspected. That was easy. Before closing, we are going to walk through. The buyer has walked through and reviewed the property before closing on whatever date we did it. Again, if you had any amendments that said, hey, we're going to buy this house still, but we need to have this repaired, this is when you go check it, is through this final walkthrough. Hey, I told you I wanted GFCIs in the bathroom. So you're going to walk through the property and look at that specific problem. Also, you're going to check to make sure that everything is normal, that there wasn't a fire in the kitchen or somebody drove through the house. You're going to make sure that the house is in the condition that you saw it and that you expect it to be in, and that's what we're checking. We're going to walk through this property. Again, you don't want to do this 2 weeks before closing. You want to get this as close to closing as you can. Sometimes they do not walk through the property before closing. Again, this might be investors, but 99% of the time you're going to want to walk through the property. And that's it, guys. So take this paper, print it out, take it with you. I'm going to have Steve and Gloria sign this thing, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to just do this one real quick. You're going to save it. You're going to turn it into the broker. Again, save it on your secure cloud, wherever you need to save it to make sure you don't lose it, because if you lose this, you're not getting your commission. This is a requirement. If you're representing the buyer, you have to have this filled out, and it takes 2 seconds. And yes, you need to do this physically with your buyer. This is a good high five, feel good before they go into the closing table and have to sign all these documents. They know what they're buying. They know what it looks like, and they know what it looks like recently. So again, fill this out, get it into us. And no need to send this to Title, by the way. Title doesn't need this form. It's not a bad idea if you want to get it with all the file and get a copy of it with everything. But get this filled out and turned in, or you're not going to get your commissions.